no Tipperick, no Moriarty, but they, in their home stadium, on a night like this, well, you put a red jersey on them and they become different animals altogether, and more so maybe than Steyn Basham, the number 7, the open side, who played last week against New Zealand. Just his 5th international cap today, and in a side that was well beaten by New Zealand. Basham really stood up and was counted. Look forward to seeing his performance as this game unfolds. There's Lewis Rees-Zammit, of course, one of those who didn't play last week, plays his club rugby in England with Gloucester, just 20 years of age, wins his 10th international cap. He is the Lamborghini of wingers. But before we get underway, of course, rugby union around the world continues to make a statement of what is so obvious to so many: racism not acceptable in rugby, in sport, or in the world we live in.
It's anthem time.
So then, the capacity of 74,500 people, as I look around, nearly all the seats are filled as they stand now for the anthems. Yeah, a huge population of South Africans living, of course, in the United Kingdom. So many of them have made their way to the Principality today, and the anthem so well sung. But speaking of well-sung anthems, listen to this. Doesn't tingle your spine, I dare say you don't have one. A check then on the teams. We'll start with Wales. Carey, Elias and Francis in a front row that will be under huge pressure, you feel, today. Rowlands and Beers, so much expected of them in ball carrying in particular. Jenkins, what a story to see him back. Wainwright and Basham make up the back three. Speaking of back threes, Adams, McNichol and Rees-Zammit have a really strong look about them. Jonathan Davies and Tompkins in the centre, and Dan Biggar back, released of course by Northampton to get into the international side this afternoon. Williams continues in the number 9 shirt. And the South African side, well, Nishe, Mbonambi and Kane are a formidable front three. Well, it's a formidable 8, isn't it? Khaleesi at 6, Vermeulen, who's off to Ulster, of course, and Smith at 7. And they have a back three that have wheels and ability as well. Now, Pimpy, Willemse, Creel really need to be watched. And Deolande provide so much power to get across that gain line in the midfield, and Pollard and Yankees will pull the strings, and there is loads of ability in what the South Africans, well, the English and the French are calling them finishers. The South Africans call them the bomb squad, and they are something special as a group of 23. And Wales, well, they're going to be tested right across the park. Lugano wears number 13 alongside Damien Deolande, and that is the face of Rhys Carey, 15th international cap. Alongside me, a former Welsh international at 15s and 7s, Philippa Tuddy and Philippa. What a magnificent atmosphere.
No matter how many times I come to this stadium, it never ceases to amaze me. The atmosphere is incredible here. We've nearly got a full house. Yes, it's raining, but who cares? Let's bring on the rugby.
Paul Williams of New Zealand is our referee. Ollie Hodges, the TMO, no doubt we'll hear from him as the game progresses. Sharp blast of the whistle. We are off and running in the Principality Stadium. Up it goes from Dan Biggar. And South Africa, through Willemse, get their hands on the ball, and you feel they're going to keep their hands on the ball for large parts of play. Well, maybe not in their own half, but definitely, or I should say in the opposition half, but definitely in their own half. It's dangerous to kick it away. And these sort of conditions, well, it's dangerous to try and get underneath it as Rees-Zammit comes and proves the point. As the ball drops, but drops backwards, and Wales, well, you feel they've got to get off to a strong start here. Dan Biggar goes to the air as well. And it's taken by Pollard, who's caught in possession, and Wales come pouring in, but it's controlled by the outside half, making his 58th international appearance. Yankees. This one, you feel, is going to be about territory and about set piece. Still very, very wet underfoot, although, well, you can see it, it's still raining, and when you can see the rain on the monitor, well, you know it's coming down very heavily indeed. Special Yankees goes to the air. Dan Biggar comes from a long way away and does really well. 93rd international cap for Biggar. McNichol, who was impressive in a disappointing game against New Zealand last week, the fullback for Wales. 12 carries, 114 metres as standout in the statistics. Biggar. Rees-Zammit hit really hard by Damien Deolande. Munster, of course, Deolande. Yankees. And Willemse off on a little run to see if there's a soft shoulder. It won't get one from Jonathan Davies, but does pop the ball away to Deolande. And it's there for Yankees once again. And now they bring the big men, but the big men on this occasion are met on the gain line. Big tackle from Wainwright, which really lays down a marker. They're doing it in the 2nd minute. They're going to need to still be doing it in the 80th minute, you feel. Up the ball goes once again. Can be a bit of a lottery when it gets there. Rhys Carey says thank you very much, and sucks possession back for Wales once again. Biggar has a little look up to see how the back three of South Africa are aligned and kicks it long. Willemse has plenty of time. And the ball in play for a long time. Rees-Zammit and Williams get themselves on all of a muddle and just about get away with it. McNichol has a look and gets away from the attempted tackle of Mbonambi. Lots going on, but all between the two 22s right now. Ball in play.
Okay.
For a long period of time in this opening 3 minutes. Williams digs it out, Biggar back in the pocket and to the sky once more, where it'll join the wet stuff and come back to earth.
Backwards by Green.
There for Dialende. Yankees, and once more try and get it moving forward across that gain line, but once more Wales equal to the task defensively.
Okay, not now.
Biggar underneath this one. Pimpy was the one who got there. Presented just about, but South Africa come through the middle, and that's legal and okay, says referee Paul Williams.
Use 9.
And Elias on his shoulder. Basham.
Yeah, good work. It's your player.
And Thomas Williams
Holding now. Okay, 9. Ball's there. Time to use.
will eventually get it away. He seemed to have got away from the 5 seconds, use it or lose it.
Back by Red.
Back on the Welsh side. Little bit of pace injected by Williams, but runs into a big tackle from Biggar.
Easy now, guys.
Oh, that was risky for a moment. It looked like it might get away from Adam Baird. Long pass, ball is out and can be played, and across comes Nche. But Wales still have the ball, still in play. 4.5 minutes almost gone. South Africa have driven Wales back inside their own 22, but Wales will get the penalty. And at last there's a break in play.
Well, my days, I think both teams are going to be feeling that, you know, no matter how fit you are, when it's the start of a test match, you always feel it in the lungs. And 4.5 minutes of continuous play, you have to say it's going to be a kicking battle in this game. I think Wales are going to be backing their wingers, Josh Adams, Louis Rees-Zammit, to get up and challenge. But just during that phase, though, you can't help but feel South Africa did get the better. They chased up really hard on those kicks, and they were really slowing down the rucks. Once or twice, they nearly had a turnover there. So it's certainly an attacking strategy for Wales to go for that kicking game, but it can't be the only thing they're bringing.
Back on the Welsh side, and Dan Biggar has received a lovely pass and tries to send Josh Adams through the gap. Almost got away there for Wales again, and into a big tackle runs Taine Basham. So impressive against New Zealand last week when Wales were doing a lot of retreating. Ball back from Biggar to McNichol. Should still be there, and he is. Thomas Williams, though, took his eye off it for a moment and almost got taken out of it by Smith. Got the kick away, and the referee will come back and offer the penalty to Wales.
7 Green.
7 Green.
Offside of the ruck.
Smith offside at the last breakdown.
Again, though, another example of the intensity that the Springboks are going to be bringing in and around that ruck area. Wales are going to have to be super quick. If it means that those backs are going to have to get in there and seal over that ball, Dan Biggar, get in there, just secure it. Too many times against New Zealand, players were hanging out and they were being turned over. Everyone's got to get in and secure that ball.
Well, there was a kick from Williams, and that was where the offside occurred. And after all that, we will have the platform for Wales of a line out about 7 meters short of the South African line, and it's with Ryan Elias. And not surprisingly, they go to the front of the line out, and now it's Elias again, and Adams comes pouring off his wing but runs into a huge tackle. Wales starting to go through the gears. Rees-Zammit goes, but has Smith got a hold of that? He has. What a turnover from the open side. If you are isolated even slightly, this South African back row will eat you up all day long.
No, just wait. No, it's fine, yeah. Hold the pulse.
Back with Pollard.
Ball went backwards.
And that exit will be okay from South Africa's perspective, but what about that?
Well, that's exactly what we were just saying then. You know, security in that ruck area, but where it comes from is the dominance in the collision. You just saw there Siya Kolisi just not giving up in the tackle, driving his legs, making sure that Rees-Zammit went to ground in a vulnerable position. That then allows Smith to go over and do what he does best.
Appeared in all tests of this year, all 11 of them South Africa has Smith, as Wales come again Josh Adams once more used as the battering ram. With the advantage being played to Wales, so a free play. Another advantage being played for Newland. Furious with the referee or at himself. Out it goes, and it's there for Rees-Zammit, and he steps one, and he steps two, and he's eventually put out just a couple of meters short. But that was terrific from Wales. They took advantage of the advantage, nearly got in the corner.
Absolutely, and it's all the awareness from this man there, Nick Tompkins. He has certainly had his critics, he shines at club level, but he's yet to make that stand on the international field. But having the confidence and the awareness of the space and throwing in a ball like that will certainly give him some credit.
Nice little cameo in all that from Ellis Jenkins, the Cardiff flanker, of course, first start for him in 3 years. His last game actually was for Wales against South Africa in 2018, and Wales won that game by 20 points to 11. In fact, he was man of the match, but suffered such a cruel injury, and here he is back. Referee just explaining to Khaleesi the reason for the penalties.
South Africa giving quite a few penalties away, especially in their half, and at the moment you have to say that's kind of what's keeping Wales in there. Now they are making the most of it, but really South Africa need to straighten that up.
Yeah, it's 3 penalties in the opening 10 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Turn her in. Yeah, just don't be holding players afterwards at the ruck time, okay?
Over it goes from Dan Biggar, and Wales have the early lead, a little early lead that will give them encouragement, because coming into this one, you felt after what happened last week against New Zealand, and with the disruption in the team, with all the injuries, with players coming back, if South Africa got out to an early lead here, it was going to prove to be a very difficult afternoon.
Certainly, and when the likes of Alan Wynne-Jones, their captain, their talisman, we know now he's going to be out for some time. You can only imagine how much that affected the camp, but we are seeing a reaction here today.
Well, like I said, 10 minutes won't do it against the world champions. It's going to have to be for the full 80. That's a lovely kick, really lovely from the Yankees, but we'll go back for a penalty. And the penalty's against Steyn Basham.
Seven, always advancing from the kick. Offside.
It's a soft one as well.
Oh, correction, 6.
Okay, it's
6.
not Steyn Basham, it's Ellis Jenkins.
Good work, mate.
Yeah, as you mentioned there with Ellis Jenkins, an incredible comeback. There were times where he actually thought his rugby career was over. It's been a long, long time coming, but so good to see him back in a red jersey.
Yeah, excellent, mate.
Got back this season with Cardiff, been performing really well.
So then, a chance for Andre Pollard to tie it up a couple of moments after Wales took the lead. 568 international points from the boot of Pollard. And up go the flags, and there's another 3. Of that now, what, 571 points, 6 of those are tries, all the rest from the Booties. Absolutely reliable. It's 3 points apiece in the Principality.
Yeah, and they're the right decisions for both sides, but I do hope that this game comes down to tries scored rather than, you know, as we saw in that World Cup semi-final, the only real difference between the team was that one extra penalty that South Africa got. So I really hope both teams have still come with the ambition to play.
Absolutely, no doubt about that, but you do feel that the coaches probably had a little look an hour beforehand and went, in those conditions, yeesh, maybe we just play boot and territory. We'll see as the game progresses. Biggar. Chased by Johnny McNichol, and it was a really good chase, and Steyn Basham was there to get a hold of the ball. Wales have another advantage. McNichol around the back goes Biggar, and now Jonathan Davis, and outside him is Adams, who steps inside for Newland, and on he goes. Adams about 10 metres short now. Back to the 22, cross-field kick. Rees-Zammit under advantage. Just couldn't get there. Just couldn't get there. Mapimpi is the man who was in opposition. It's a penalty for Wales, and worryingly for South Africa over on the far side. Willemse is receiving attention, but he's back on his feet and looks like he's going to be okay.
Well, we were wondering if they're going to go for penalties or they're going to try things. Hey, Wales are looking like they're backing themselves, and they are trying things. Pinpoint accurate kick there from Dan Biggar. Just fingertips to it, wasn't it?
Absolutely. We're going to take the first penalty advantage, boys.
Yeah, he had a couple of options. Dan Biggar was just having a little conversation with the officials to see what his options were. Here was the crossfield kick.
It's perfect. Oh, just such a shame there. Louis Rissamet did so well to get into the ball. Just needed to be half a yard further out.
Time off.
And he would have had it.
He's got to get a head check
and he knows it.
See ya.
And this is where it all came from, that challenge in the air. Fantastic chase up there from Ennis Jenkins.
Yeah, on those 3 occasions.
You do feel that this is where Wales are at their most threatening. Off those kicks, if they can retain the ball, it's almost like open play.
Just play.
Dan Biggar being told that stop.
We're just getting that sorted out. Yeah.
And on come the medics from both sides.
Are we okay there,
Quite
guys?
sure why that happened. Willemse has gone,
Dan, it was just back on this
but that had
side,
happened before Biggar had lined up the kick. He's gone down the tunnel for a HIA, which you presume will mean Steyn will find his way into the game for a couple of minutes anyway. We'll sort that out in a moment. Right now, it's about Dan Biggar and trying to restore that Welsh lead. She's got everything crossed. It should be straightforward for Biggar. Referee wants the medical staff clear once the ball goes live again. Of course, if it came off the post, the game would continue, so the medical staff need to be gone. Rain continues to pour down. Doesn't make a whit of difference to Biggar. Up go the flags. Wales value for their 3-point lead. They lead it by 6 points to 3.
Very interesting, isn't it? You just feel like both teams are just testing the water, trying one another out. Kicking strategy is going to be input from both teams, but at some point Wales are going to have to front up. They're going to have to use their ball carriers.
Oh, that's a bad error. Under the circumstances, you can see why it happened, but Wainwright, he had it and it slipped through his grasp. Just confirmation that it is Steyn that's come in for Willemse for that HIA.
And this is probably the one thing that Welsh fans will fear, a scrum in the 22, because my days, the South African scrum has been going so well. We've been talking about the impact that they have on the bench, that bomb squad. I mean, this is one area where South Africa should feel very confident.
It's going to be really interesting in terms of the way that these front rows approach it. First scrum of the game, Tom Francis, Ryan Elias, Rhys Carey, 6'2", 6'3", 6'2". By comparison, the South Africans, Neakane, Mbonambi, and Nietzsche, 5'9", 5'9", 5'10". There is a significant height differential in these front rows, and those men, you feel, have got the edge going into it.
They've certainly got the edge, but they've also got the consistency, the amount of time that this pack has been playing together. They know one another inside and out, whereas unfortunately with the Welsh squad, as we've mentioned, with injuries and things, we've had chops and changes. We haven't got our starting, Ken Owens in at hook. Can't underestimate the impact of him, and we're also missing a bit of weight, the likes of Ross Moriarty, Alan Wynne-Jones.
Herschel Yankees will feed eventually. Let's hope we don't have an afternoon of resetting scrums.
Can I go here? You guys stay that way? Nice. Right, let's go. Just the height. Yeah, okay.
Bungi Mbonambi, 46th international cap for the 30-year-old. Such a powerful scrummaging unit. And, of course, behind that front row are the significant presences of Rudiager and Eben Etzebeth. And Vermeulen to anchor it out. Yankees gets the ball in South Africa, move forward. They have the advantage from a powerful, powerful scrum. Kriel.
Okay, new advantage, thank you, mate.
Another advantage being played. Second penalty in this passage of play as Etzbeth comes crashing in from a long way away. De Allende, little dink in behind, but Jonathan Davis stuck a boot out and stopped the ball from getting through. Still advantage to South Africa. None coming, and back we'll go for the penalty.
Very well read there by Jonathan Davis, just to be able to obstruct that ball from going
You've got
through.
the advantage from the scrum, and the back's also up offside. So here, okay, mark right here, mate.
So again, a little bit like Dan Biggar earlier, just a clarification for Pollard that there were two options for where he could take the penalty.
Before the scrum was out,
Slight concern there for who's
shot call,
holding his ribs.
Yeah. We're only offside unless if they breach it, we can come as well.
See, this is the message I need you to understand. Okay, it's a mirror. So if they come and go back, you must also go back.
So
okay.
Are you going to keep an eye on the attacking team?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it might have been a bit
Dan
of
Biggar having a little conversation with the referee about subtleties of offside. Andre Pollard, as straightforward as it gets at this level, and success is the inevitable outcome, and 6 points apiece at the Principality Stadium.
Yeah, so Dan Biggar was just questioning when they can move forward from that scrum, and what the referee was explaining is when the scrum actually turns, you need to mimic that by actually retreating so you're on the hindmost foot, because something that Wales are going to be really keen to do is put so much pressure, especially tight through the centres on the defensive line. So Dan Biggar just wants to make sure they know exactly when they can shoot off and try and make a dominant collision.
So then Ryan Elias and Wales as we head towards the end of the first quarter of this game. And that one is knocked backwards by Green, says the referee. Now it makes touch over on the far side. I think Wales are going to get the throw in again, which is a bit of a lucky escape.
It's a very lucky escape, but you know what now, two lineouts, one's been challenged, one, the first one we saw in the 22, was successful, which will be good. A lot of Welsh fans will be sighing a little bit of an early relief there, because the lineout last week against New Zealand was so frustrating. The very few attacking opportunities Wales had were halted by the fact the lineout wasn't functioning, so good to see it working today.
And it's won by Rowlands at the front, and it's with Elias again, and then Josh Adams. Tom Francis goes in to make sure the ball comes back on the Welsh side, which it does, and off goes Wainwright. But that is a big wall of green men who put him to ground. Use the 22 as your guide to the carrying of Wales and the defensive line of South Africa. This time Mumbambe is a man to shut down, and South Africa put the men in over the ball and get the penalty. They take as much pride in their defensive effort. It's almost those sort of turnover wins are celebrated like tries are.
Absolutely. You know, it may sound a bit of a cliche, but I'm telling you, every team will get confidence from their defensive sets. And when you get those turnovers like that, you're putting your body on the line. It massively lifts the team. Great chop tackle. It's all about the first collision, being able to make that dominant collision, putting the opposing player in a more vulnerable position, just makes it so much easier for the rest of the team to come in and try and jackal that ball.
Yeah, and that chop tackle was from that man, Mbonambi, who goes from tackler to thrower. And it's all the way to the hands of De Jager. And now there's an advantage to South Africa because Wales were in too early on him. So the penalty is there as Yankees tries to go around the corner. There's no room there. We'll come back for the penalty.
Early drive. Wait for him to come down. Early drive. Wait for the man to come down.
Referee judging the De Jager was still in the air when Wales tried to get that first momentum onto what they knew was coming, which was the South African maul. And now they find themselves back on their own 5-metre line. Just moments ago, down inside the South African 22. Couldn't take advantage of it. Now South Africa's opportunity.
And that's where, especially a team like Wales, in the position they are at the moment, it is so important to keep ball. There are teams like New Zealand that are almost even more dominant when they don't have the ball, but for Wales, it's all about possession.
Biggar. And now Mbonambi. And now the drive and the power comes on. An advantage being played to South Africa. Wales collapsing that maul. Crossfield from Pollard. Out here is Bapimpi. No one gathers it. We'll go back for the advantage.
Yeah, Wales are struggling at the moment to be able to deal with that maul.
Yeah.
But what a good opportunity. Really good awareness there by South Africa to go for that crossfield kick. You know you've got the advantage. It's always worth playing.
Jonathan, we're down the centre of the field. Here we had a penalty for a clear early drive, and now we've got one here for players getting pulled out of the maul, okay? So we need to tidy that area up. No, I think we'll get on with it, You can pass that message on.
Watch the back lift up.
Yeah, sure. Water off, guys.
And I think the key message from the referee there is we're in this area of the field, so it's the fact that they're in the 22. That's when you really don't want to be giving away penalties, because they're going to be looking more cynical. It's just, I think the forwards there potentially panicking a bit. They'll be incredibly aware of the physical dominance of South Africa.
Oh, I was just going to say that. The panic comes from what they know is about to happen next, because as soon as South Africa get that power on, there isn't a pack in world rugby that has found a way to deal with them consistently. You've got to try and stop it at source without giving away a penalty. Mbonambi again to Biggar. There was only one script on that line out. Wales have stopped the first flow, but they're rocking and rolling that power, and Mbonambi breaks away but doesn't get anywhere. Creel is on his shoulder. It's good defensive effort from Wales.
Ball still in.
They've done it legally. Yankees. Inche. Actually, Yankees once more. Ebenetzebeth. Biggar, South Africa. One huge man after another carry, but Wales stick to their task. And it's Jenkins who receives the plaudits for getting his body in there over the ball and turning over possession. Huge moment in the game, you feel.
Absolutely vital. You've got to give credit there to the Welsh forwards earlier on being able to deal with that maul, but look at this body position. Absolutely strong over the ball. Fantastic work from Ellis Jenkins. And when you consider the fact that a massive injury he sustained in the last 20 seconds of the game against South Africa was doing exactly that, it takes some confidence to put your body in that position again.
Oh yeah, all the hours, all the days, all the doubts. Well, it was for moments like that, playing for your country in front of a full house and against the world champions. Any doubts that he may have had? Surely not anymore. Well,
try
they were
and work
answered in
hard to
that
stay
moment.
on feet when you go into that contact zone.
Good clearing kick, good clearing penalty. There you see it. Biggar took it in. He was over it so quickly.
Luke, come down. Come down. Come down.
Wayne Pivac absolutely thrilled.
Yeah, that's good and straight for me.
Word from the dressing room. Damien Willemse will not be back, so his HIA replacement, Frans Steyn, is a permanent replacement.
Onside.
Williams sends it high yet again. And Biggar, along with Bapimpi, go up for it, and somehow Smith is the one who secures possession when it looked for all the world like Wales were going to win it. Biggar, carry after carry from that man already.
Okay, we've got a rock.
That one's straight out. Straight out. Ball is kicked outside the 22. We'll go back for a Welsh throw into the line out from where the kick was taken.
Here, James.
And you want to just hear the crowd roar at that, just adding that extra bit of pressure. Yankees normally so reliable with that box kick. It's very much a part of South Africa's game plan, as we always normally see with Faf de Klerk, who unfortunately is still injured with that hip strain.
Sorry. Over.
Down for Williams and Biggar. And Wales have a little bit of a buzz about them right now. Davis meets Dialende in midfield. Advantage being played again. Not releasing the man. Penalty to Wales, and I'm not surprised the referee with both sides in this zone. No, they won't be allowed to take it quickly.
He knows we're coming back. So we had the 3 down here for him past the ball, not supporting body weight. And now we've got this one here for clearly not releasing before getting on the ball, yeah. So now it's just the team warning for the breakdown, okay? I just need that tidied up. Oh, not at the moment. Yeah, and that's why I gave them the warning, yeah.
Well, very clear from the referee. Another one in that area, and someone's going to the bin.
Yeah, and it really is a lot of penalties. On average, you'd expect maybe between 10 to 13 penalties a game. So the fact that we're 26 minutes in and both teams have got 5 and 6 penalties each, that's a lot.
Can you hop off the field, please? Can you get him off the field? Okay, we've got time on here, guys.
So there, you can see where Dan Biggar has been before, the green, and the yellow not far away from that. That's the one that's about to happen. And it will go green, and Wales will have 9 points to South Africa's 6.
Guys, I'm going to need stoppage. I just need some of that tape for my earpiece, please.
I'd say Wayne Pivac is happy enough with what he's seen from his side in the opening 27 minutes.
Ball's there, get it used. Holding, guys. Yeah,
Williams navigates his way around the huge arm span of Etzebeth. Vermeulen can't stop it from going in, and that's a good clearing kick from the Welsh scrum half.
It's flapping around. Yeah.
Oh, it's good to see Thomas Williams getting some consistent game time.
Yeah,
Our number 9s have been constantly rotating, even through the World Cup. You've got the likes of Gareth Davis. We even had Lloyd Williams coming in, the old experienced head of Lloyd Williams, but it would be good to see one of the number 9s just getting some consistency. And Thomas Williams certainly looks to be of the favourite.
Yeah, 27th international cap for him today.
Oh.
Lou de Jager, once again, is the target of the man who now has the ball, Mbonambi, South African hooker. And Wales have dealt well with this maul by and large, as I say it and put the commentator's curse on it. It's South Africa who get a bit of momentum. That kick from Yankees is not as far as he would have wanted to, and it bounces somehow in amongst 20 bodies. And then there are people in the wrong place, and the South Africans are the ones that are picked out, and it's a penalty to Wales.
That was a really poor kick. I'm not quite sure what Yankees was thinking there. Yes, the maul had stuttered, so absolutely get it away, but I mean, it would have been more sense to have gone for the corners because the fullback for Wales had come up. So putting that high ball up just sent the ball into where everyone was. It was not going into space, and it was not competitive.
Yeah, I just want a piece ready to go straight on, okay? Don't want to hold things up too much.
There's Steyn Vermeulen.
Just keep it dry.
59 international caps now off to Ulster shortly, the 35-year-old. Nice hands from Biggar to Josh Adams. Fell into the tackle of Andre Pollard. Basham.
Advantage.
Ball presented, advantage being played, and Vermeulen just shrugs his shoulders as a referee and says, not me again. Rowlands.
Yeah, you got the advantage. No.
Williams. Elias. Ball scored away from him there. No, says the referee. Narrow side is Williams' choice on this occasion. Roland's ever willing to carry once more. Ryan Elias likewise. De Jager, I should say, is the one that makes the tackle. Williams, Basham, nice angle, good pace. Gets a bit of forward momentum for Wales again. Biggar, oh, that was close to high. The referee's going to have his TMO have a little look at that while the game goes on. It's ferocious tackling from South Africa. They've forced Wales back a good 7 or 8 metres. Little dink over the top. There's another collision in midfield, and I think the referee is going to have to get a hold of this.
Time off. Yeah. Slow it down.
You could see then Jonathan Davis gesturing 3. So what he's basically saying, there was 3 times where South Africa have impeded our attack. Considering the position on the field we are as well, he's really hoping the referee is going to look at this.
I have to say, I was following the ball, and we're going to really need to look at this, as is the referee.
The first being the high tackle by...
Green one takes a player off the ball here.
Okay.
Okay, so
yeah, sure.
Andrew Brace has come in to ask Paul Williams to look at something specific, which is
Paul, you want to check the
tackle from Green 1.
I presume you want to check whether there's any obstruction after the kick. Okay, let's stand by.
Thank you. That tape can come now too, guys.
Calmest man in the room is Paul Williams.
Are you clearly seeing that footage on the screen? Okay.
It's high, there's no doubt about it. The question is, he's following, where is the ball? He's going after the ball. And it's caught on the forearm first. It's going to be really interesting to see people's interpretation of this.
I think the main issue with that is there's absolutely no duck coming from the South African player. He almost stands up into the tackle.
Yes, we're going forward to the obstruction.
Yeah, I'm happy there's no foul play there because Green 1's going for the ball. I just wanted to go to the second piece, please. Jonathan, I need your guys back.
Just queuing it up now, Paul. It's coming on the screen for you now, mate.
Jonathan, I need some space, please.
And again, it's Unche, and again, it's on Tompkins, but that's closing off the gap.
For you, Paul.
Deliberate obstruction.
Shot for you. Bear with us.
Hey, see ya. We just need a bit of space, please, mate. I'll come back to you. Yep, I'll come back to you.
Tompkins going after Biggar's kick, and Shea just turns around. Did he alter his line? Angle, he doesn't have to get out of the way. The question is, did he walk into the way?
Yeah, you can continue with your same line of running. It's difficult though, isn't it? Because he is turning to go back for the ball.
This is the best one here.
I've got to say, on both counts, I think it's marginally in South Africa's favour.
Yeah, okay.
So Zinche changes angle.
I've got a decision, thanks, mate.
He does change.
Go ahead, mate.
Yeah, look, the first instance by Green 1, we don't believe there's any foul play there because Green 1 is actually reaching up for the ball. The second play, Green 1 clearly takes the red man off the ball. So therefore it is going to be a penalty, and also because of the numbers of penalties it's going to be a yellow card. Anything more to add there?
No, not for me.
Thank you. So see, we were already down here on a warning. The first one when he's going for the ball, no issue with it, okay? That's not a high tackle, it's play on. But the second one, he's clearly taken a man off the ball. Nah, listen, it's going to be a yellow card, then I'll come back to you, okay?
Well, whether you agree or disagree, the 4 officials have had a really good look at that. They've walked through it, they've made considered decisions, and they're clear in their decision-making process. And at the end of it, Ox Inche is going to the sin bin, and South Africa are down to 14, and Wales have a penalty in front of the post to take a 6-point lead in what has been, that's 8 penalties for South Africa in the opening 30 minutes, 5 from Wales. They're big numbers at this point in the game. The consequence for that man is 10 minutes in the bin.
They really are big numbers, and not something that we're used to seeing really from either team. And when you think about the arm wrestle South Africa were in against New Zealand in their last game, and yet they kept the penalty count down, so this would be very frustrating for the South African management to see.
It's been a dream day in terms of the positioning of the kicks for Dan Biggar so far. They've all been pretty much in front of the posts and close in, and he slotted them all as you'd expect him to do. 12 points to 6, 31.5 minutes gone, and it's very much game on at the Principality.
It is, and I think Wales' intention of the kicking game, keeping the ball moving, not relying on those just forward carries, one-up runners, is actually doing Wales proud. It's hindering South Africa from getting into the game.
Rob Wainwright takes the ball cleanly this time. He's targeted again by the restart, but didn't make the same mistake. Knocked back by the substitute Frans Steyn. If you're joining us late, Steyn in for Damian Willemse, who went over the HIA. Hard to believe that Frans Steyn made his debut all the way back in 2006 against Ireland. And here he is against Wales on his 72nd international cap, 34 years of age now. Yankees goes to the air. That's a better kick from the scrum half. McNichol came from a good way back and was solid in his claiming. Ryan Elias. Tom Francis, and Wales quite happy just to suck a little bit of the emotion and slow the game down. Take a little bit of a breather from what has been a really physical effort so far.
Tackle! Advantage! 5, slowing the ball down.
Another penalty, this time against Wales. Adam Beard has been singled out for slowing the ball down. Now, a rare opportunity for a three-quarters to get a hold of the ball, and Dialende right through. Yankees on his shoulder. Dialende gets up and then makes sure possession comes back on the South African side. Plays scrum half. And Nyakane, the one to carry. Once more, and then Vermeulen.
Okay.
Such a rare thing to see a centre with a little bit of space and ball in hand. Dialende man to make the break. That was Smith who took it. And a little dink in behind, and after it goes Mapimpi, and on it goes, and it bobbles on, and eventually Williams puts his body down and covers the ball. And the majority in the Principality Stadium breathe a huge sigh of relief. Lovely little delicate chip in behind from Pollard. Almost got Mapimpi free.
9, time to use.
And Thomas Williams will complete the exit, and play will resume with a South African line out outside the Welsh 22. Good work from the number 9 in defence and with the boot. But what about this? Dialende with a rare break.
Oh, Dialende, he's one of my favourite players. He's so good, and the consistent centre for South Africa. Just every game he'll give you a performance, and unfortunately for South Africa, they haven't been able to get him into the game. That's the first time we've really seen his threat. But moving on from that then, Andre Pollard, great awareness. He could see that the Welsh line was shooting up, and it was a little bit disjointed, which is a perfect opportunity to put through that grubber kick. But like you say, well fielded by the Welsh backs, specifically Thomas Williams.
Jim. Awesome, boss.
Dialende straight down the middle, and keys on his shoulder.
He spots the mismatch there. You had Ryan Elias in the back line trying to defend. Nick Tompkins just shot up a little bit too quick. He sort of left Ryan Elias a bit vulnerable, but still really good awareness there from the centre to pick him off.
Well, South Africa have a real front row problem right now.
Your timing on the charge there, perfect. Thank you.
As the referee has a little word with Etzebeth, and you look back at that moment where it looked like it bounced off every part of Mapimpi's body other than into his hands. They have a problem. Nche, of course, in the bin, and now Nyakane is in all sorts of trouble.
Let's go, Sam. Yeah. Yeah, we've still got time off. Okay, guys,
he is one big human being.
He's the type of guy where you're as interested in his weight and his height as you are just his depth and his width.
It is a remarkable sight up close.
Yeah, good. Hold.
To the maul. South Africa go. Mbonambi at the back. Remember, South Africa down to 14.
Your eyes there, Bracey.
As we head towards the final 5 minutes of the first half, they have advantage. Pollard thought about the kick, thought about the pass, got caught in possession, but they have advantage still, and Smith comes round the corner and he singles out Rowlands, who's equal to the defensive task. We'll go back for the penalty.
Yeah. Time off. Where's one?
One is Rhys Carey.
Jonathan. We spoke about maul infringements down here last time. One's come straight around the side. It's going to be another yellow card.
Well, it's another prop.
Entry at the maul.
In the bin.
Back here.
Rhys Carey makes his way. And Wales will finish out this half and a number of minutes of the second. We're at 14. It's evened it up for the short term anyway, 14 apiece.
One entry.
Yeah, unfortunately, Wales have painted a certain picture to the referee very early on about their ability to deal with the South Africa maul. And at least we're seeing now consistency in the refereeing, which is what we always want. Repeated infringements in the South African half. The South African player goes. Same now in the Welsh.
Oh, there could be no complaints. Mbonambi and South Africa 7 meters short of the Welsh line. Biggar, was he down? Yes, says the referee. Wales were entitled to repel exactly when they did. Yankees and then DLND almost away, but Tompkins held on. Yankees again, there's a momentum about this effort from South Africa. Wales scrambling across to make the tackles and then picking it off. And it's there for McNicholl. In behind the retreating South African defence it goes, but we'll come back. We'll come back for a high tackle.
Just watch that, mate.
Was it on Basham?
High tackle.
Or Jenkins? Well, the crowd, it may be wet, it may be windy, but they are fully engaged in the white heat of the moment.
Yeah. 23.
So well read there by Ellis Jenkins. It was only last weekend when intercepts were not being celebrated by the Welsh crowd, but that one there today, God, what a shame they couldn't have made the most from that.
As he passed the ball to McNicholl, it was a high tackle, and the penalty goes to Wales, and we're into the final 3 minutes of the first half.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a really engaging game. Not the highest quality. The conditions have seen to that. It's been a bit of an arm wrestle, but an arm wrestle that you want to keep watching.
And you know what? I actually think the conditions are almost playing into Wales' hands, because they don't want to be playing multi-phase play against this South Africa team. They don't want to have to be carrying up hard against them. Actually, just keeping the ball alive, kicking it up in the air and just seeing what happens is what is keeping Wales in and giving them the lead.
Good. Over.
There's two places in world rugby you fear getting involved in talking across the singing. One is in the Principality and the other is in Thomond Park. Great voice being raised in the Principality. Stadium, South Africa. Get it to DLND again, and he kicks long. After it once more goes Mapimpi. Across comes Josh Adams. Biggar ran a good line to protect his winger cutting across. And that one is right out of the top drawer from the winner.
What a fantastic kick. I mean, when you say Josh Adams' name, the first thing to come to your head is not going to be his kicking ability. But under so much pressure here, he manages to get a fantastic clearance kick away.
Wait for him to come down.
With a little bit of, shall we call it, support from Dan Biggar.
Smith jogs across to give Mbonambi the call for this line-out. South Africa into the final minute of the first half. They trail by 6. Is there anything for either side before the break?
No, play on there,
referee giving the impression that South Africa might have been trying to milk a penalty there.
Ball's available.
But they still have the ball. That's the crucial part from their perspective.
There, so it's no penalty.
A little bit of a chat between Vermeulen and Yankees as to what they're going to do.
Tackle! Okay, use now.
Yankees once again. Risamatu had that opportunity in the opening 10 minutes with a cross-field kick that just got away from him, and that probably the closest we've come to a try for Wales in this first half. Referee clear again.
That's time? Okay. What's that, sorry?
Last ball, was that fine from him?
I'll come to you in a minute. Okay. What are we doing, guys? Shot?
Yeah, referee just
shot call.
Checking to see what South Africa wanted to do. He's going to talk to the captain now.
That's a good picture I want to discuss here. You need to make sure your jumper goes straight up and straight down. I don't want you putting your jumper past, okay? Because then it makes the picture very hard for me to see if the early drive. Do you understand? Straight up, straight down.
Clear message from the referee to Kolisi and South Africa's pack who were all listening. Zamet, the man who's penalised, you can see clearly why.
Yeah, cool.
On that replay,
from my side looked like a clear,
and it all adds up to the final kick of the first half from
green versus an up and down.
Andre Pollard. It'll be the difference between South Africa going to the changing room trailing by either 6 or 3. First real tester of a kick for either outside half in this first half. On its way, and it's good. It's really good, because that was not straightforward, and Pollard has shortened the gap. Biggar's boot got Wales out to 12. Pollard has 3 of his own. It gives South Africa 9. As I said, a bit of an arm wrestle, but a really engaging one. Half-time at the Principality Stadium. Wales 12, South Africa 9. So the conversation between Khaleesi and referee Paul Williams sort of stopped for 10 minutes as they went down the tunnel, and then they've come back up the tunnel. The conversation continues. What was the message of Wayne Pivac to this Welsh side at half-time?
I think it would very much have been more of the same. Keep it erratic, keep it disruptive. Let's keep that ball up in the air. But what would be even more interesting is what was said to South Africa. They have got to get a grip on this game. Keep hold of the ball. Use your powerful runners and try and dominate these phases of play. Because at the moment, this loose game is playing far more into the Welsh team's hand than it is South Africa's.
To a cacophony of sounds, the second half at the Principality Stadium gets underway, and the PA quietens and the crowd take over, and that crowd has sat through 40 minutes of Wales really going toe-to-toe with the world champions when many expected they would not be able. Well, they've done half the job, and South Africans are now back up to the full 15. Oxenche is restored to the South African front row. Wales will have to continue without Rhys Carre for a little bit longer.
And I know definitely one message from the South African camp would have been clean it up. Let's cut out these penalties. And within the first 40 seconds, unfortunately, we see a penalty infringement there. That's really stifling the South Africans' game.
And the rain continues to sheet in. For those of you who are interested, you should be aware, because it does have a significant impact. Moments like this, it becomes a bit of a lottery, but Steyn did really well there. Well, he did in part one, collecting the ball, delivering it to a green Springbok jersey was not particularly impressive, but South Africa have controlled the situation. It's there for Yankees, and he navigates his way around Roland. It's a bit of a scrappy one. It's not forward by a Welsh hand, according to the referee, and it'll be a scrum to South Africa.
And this is what South Africa wants. I think they were hoping, with the conditions especially, there would be far more scrums in this game, because that is certainly an area that they are dominant in.
Yeah, just the second scrum, is it, of the afternoon? We're definitely in single digits. He will have been expecting more.
He's here now. Time on. And a man to come off. Who's coming off? No one wants to come off.
No one wants to go off, and they need to go off because, of course, Wales needs to bring on a front row forward for this scrum. The man who's going to be sacrificed is Ellis Jenkins.
I'll stay here, Bracey,
Had to be done. He'll get 5 or 6 minutes more rest before Wales are restored to the full 15.
Nice and straight, guys.
Wyn Jones into that front row. There's the man who's in the sin bin, Rhys Carre. After all that's happened, we'll resume with the scrum. Fed by Yankees. Vermeulen. Well, it's another huge scrum from South Africa. 2 opportunities, and they've driven it home on both those occasions.
No advantage, guys. You're in touch there.
You can't quite see on your screen, but the front row just gave themselves the biggest high fives. Certainly that is going to boost the South African team's confidence.
And it's not like Tom Francis and Wyn Jones are considered soft scrummagers anywhere in World Rugby, and they were just taken apart right there. And what it does is give South Africa a foothold deep inside Welsh territory from the boot, and
let them come down.
They have that numerical advantage, they have the territorial advantage, they have possession, all stacked up to a challenging couple of moments for Wales. Eben Etzebeth steps up to the line out, face of menace. Mbonembe goes to Diego. And the hooker slots in at the back of the maul.
Okay, yes.
And it gets a little bit of a roll on and then comes around the corner.
That is a tackle.
And referee is happy that South Africa didn't control it, and now they're going backwards, and all in all, Wales have done really well. Yankees. And Yakane.
That's yours there, it's your leg.
Back for Pollard.
Steyn!
High into the air it goes, crossfield. Zammit is underneath this, also Creel, or was it Adams, in fact? It was Adams, apologies.
Okay. Box keep coming, boys.
Williams. Wainwright, and up quickly to make the tackle is Nche.
Yeah.
Williams will go
Okay, guys.
with the boot.
Patience now. Use.
Really well taken by Adams, that last ball. Steyn comes forward. Biggar sort of jumps into the tackle. We really are playing foot tennis for the last couple of minutes. That one's not forward from a South African player. McWilliams, well, he knew he had the advantage, and it was a risky attempt at an offload, but it had an insurance policy.
Lock on, guys. Scrum.
It did, but you know, going back to what we said beginning of the second half, we don't think the kicking game is really working for South Africa. In the past 60 seconds, they kicked the ball away twice. Yes, they are challenging for it, but both times Wales came off the better. So I really think that South Africa should be looking to keep the ball in hand.
Okay.
So then Wales are back to their full complement. Rhys Carre's come in, which means that Wyn Jones has gone and Ellis Jenkins has come back. And now South Africa are going to bring in a front row.
It wasn't clear for me here. Yeah.
So away goes Nche, Mbonambi and Yakane. And in their place come the enormous creatures that are Marks, Christoph and Koch. The depth of front row talent in South Africa is just, when you look, it's beyond. These guys and the guys that are below them again would walk into starting positions on every other international team in the world.
Yeah, they're absolutely incredible, aren't they? It's not often that I get excited about front row.
Boys, they started well, we hit and hold, okay?
And Rhys Carre and Ryan Elias and Tom Francis this afternoon didn't just get any easier.
You know, and it's a great challenge for Rhys Carre. You know, he's only got 10, 12 caps to his name. He's been in and around the mix for the past 2 years, but this is really his opportunity now to show that he can cut it on the international field and really try and make that jersey his own, and he's certainly getting the best possible test today.
Yeah, he's about to get another test from Vincent Koch right now.
Step back. We're all right in, okay? We need space. Let's go. I've got a lot to look for. Crouch! Wide. Set. Hold.
In and away, you will feel will be what Wales will. And Biggar has a look to see how the back three are aligned. Steyn covered a lot of ground to make sure he was in the right place. Lovely step. And Tompkins got left. And on goes Steyn. Yankees. Pollard. Wales up quickly outside. That left the gap in behind, and Alma's onto it, and then it's a kick and chase, and Alma once more. Oh, beautiful. Really impressive from South Africa. The Yankees. And now it's Marks. And Wales are dragged one way, and then the other opened up for just a moment, but they're back and set right now. Pollard, can he do it again? Saw Wales flying up outside. Little dink in behind. That's what started this. Dialende. Kolisi protects. Yankees. And now Diego. Diego sets it up. Yankees once again. Big carries. Wales, the crowd lift their voice. trying to urge the men in red on. Rhys Carey almost got his hands on it, but it's still there. The Yankees, when then Koch, when the scrum half wants a hold of it, it's slower ball. Marks is the one with the Jagger on his shoulder. Wales need to stick to the task, need to maintain their discipline as well. 11 phases so far. Yankees, Kitsov. Yankees once more. Wales come sprinting out of the gates. It was Tompkins who came up quickly, and that for a moment unsettled South Africa, but they still have the ball. Dialende, big tackle from Jenkins, and it's stolen by Wales. And downfield it goes from McNichol, and back goes Creel, and he's dealing with the ball of soap, and Adams saw a moment, but then backed off because he knew once Creel got a hold of it, the tackle needed to be made. But Wales have gone from their own goal line to inside the South African half to a penalty, and if the roof was on this place, it'd blow wide open.
Oh my days, there are so many things to be picked out of those phases of play, but first of all, credit to the defensive effort from Wales. They were up against it. And what about that turnover from Ellis Jenkins? Tame Basham in there as well. Incredible work ethic. Even the Nick Tompkins shooting up out of the line, just putting pressure on Pollard, so the pass wasn't as good. It really stifled their attack.
Shot call.
But that turnover, wow.
Well, here it is. In went Dialende, and somehow out came Jenkins. And this is what set it all up. Steyn, Davis eventually held on, and this, well, what about that from Pollard? Because that was terrific vision and did something special thereafter. But Pollard, first of all, was going to go wide, saw Wales shoot up and have the presence of mind to just dink it in behind. That's what started it all off. And that's what finished it. Basham and that man Jenkins combining to get Wales from what looked like a situation of no return into a situation where they can finish a passage of play with 3 points when they looked like they were going to concede a try. Big kick, big result. Dan Biggar slots it over. We're back to a 6-point lead. Wales by 15 points to 9. A long way to go in this one, but Pivac would have taken where he is 50 minutes ago, no doubt about that. Underway once more. Taken by Wainwright. Jesse Creel went tearing up after him. Did enough to get him to ground before Wainwright skipped on for another couple of meters. Rhys Carey.
Okay, ball's at the back, time to use. Onside.
Under it again is Steyn. Backed off him for a moment. You can't afford to do that. Josh Adams had the opportunity to take him and somehow let him go. Williams is underneath this, and he calls the mark and calls it comfortably. Well, there were those at the beginning of this game, and me included, who wondered if it was a group of heavyweights against a group of very able middleweights. When you thought of no Alan Wynne-Jones or Ken Owens or Faletau or Moriarty or Navidi, all these players with all that experience and a bit of beef as well about them, whether Wales could live up to the physicality, particularly under the conditions. So far, the answer has been a resounding yes.
It really has, and it's been their work rate, their work ethic in defence as well. They've not been knocking players back, but they've certainly been standing their ground.
Yeah, it's been taken back good.
Pollard with McNichol coming flying at him. Adams will keep this one in play. Always a risky pass in these conditions from that distance, but Biggar, confident and comfortable. Dialende, watch that one into the arms all day long. Advantage being played.
You got to roll.
Davis I think at the bottom of that, was it? Well, we'll go back and check, but a Welsh player on the wrong side meant advantage being played to South Africa. Khaleesi not hanging around waiting for that advantage, trying to take a hold of it right now. Marks on a terrific angle. Yankees as South Africa come pouring back at Wales again. That one almost picked off, but into the arms of Kitsoff before he's wrapped up. And we will go back all the way back for the advantage to South Africa. A player on the wrong side.
10 red, must roll. Yeah, sure. Subs.
And again, it's just the Welsh defence there holding them in the game. Brilliant tackle again from Tane Basham, just starting to pick off players. They're kind of doing the defensive strategy that New Zealand did to them last week.
No water, no water.
Playing with so much more confidence in this round.
Water off. Okay.
This was the break from Khaleesi, which ultimately came to nothing but power and pace from the Springbok captain. They changed their scrum half. South Africa. Out has gone Herschel Yankees, and in his place comes Kobus Reinach. Reinach in, Yankees out.
We're just back here, sorry. We're just tidying up that mark. We're here.
So remember, they have a young fella called Steyn with a rather large boot, and he is inside his own half, and you forget when Frans Steyn is there that a penalty like this, even given away inside the opposition half, well, it can cost, and we're about to find out if it's going to cost. 54 metres. He has the range. We've known that for years. The conditions and the accuracy are the questions, I think.
Yeah, sure.
Punches through the ball. Oh. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. And they know when that man is in their team, anything inside their own 10-metre line is kickable.
You know what? Around the stadium then, there were a lot of hands clapping. I think any rugby fan just had to admire that kick. Like you say, it's not just the distance, it's the accuracy. Unbelievable.
Right, and the ability to plant your foot in really tricky underfoot conditions. Everything has to be perfect for a kick of that distance, and it was. 15 points to 12. Seb Davis is in. Wainwright is gone for Wales. Seb Davis wearing number 20, 11th international cap. Biggar commands the space and secures possession.
Okay.
That one got away from Basham.
First one, white red. Scrum green.
Rare mistake. I think he was looking for the tackler before he had hands on the ball.
Yeah, and you know what? It is so easy to do. You just have that split-second gaze of what is coming to you, what do you need to prepare for. But in conditions like this, it's so key. You don't take your eyes off the ball.
You never did it.
Oh.
Jimmy, I'll stay, mate. I'll stay here. Scrum time.
Scrum timing for the South Africans. That's Jesse Creel just having a little look to see where his opposite number, Josh Adams, is.
Fine. Set.
Reinach feeds. Vermeulen controls the ball at the back. It's another scrum penalty. 3 scrum penalties for South Africa. Dialende knocks it forward, but it doesn't matter. A whip-back will come for that penalty.
Not staying straight.
Well,
forward.
You know that Steyn might want to have a look at this one as well. But no. South Africa are going to play the line. Pollard will punch it down and it'll make its way to about the 22, maybe inside it.
It's going to be an interesting one, you know, because around now, the
Same thing,
60-minute
guys.
mark,
Wait
you
for
would
them to come down.
conventionally be
Last
looking
one
at
as well.
seeing a change of front row, but when you look at the Welsh bench, you know,
Yep.
brand new player, Bradley Roberts, it would be a big ask for him to come in, but he is going to at some point.
Yeah, Bradley Roberts and Will Griff-John, who are the replacement front rows along with Wyn Jones, neither of them capped. So then, Marks. Good clean ball through Vermeulen, and it's with the replacement hooker Marks at the back now. Khaleesi just feeding it on to him. Wales have done a decent job of stemming the first effort, and then South Africa kind of trip over each other, go to ground. Dielende, Khaleesi on his shoulder, Basham trying to strip the ball away. Reinach up quickly to make the tackle was Seb Davis. And again, good line speed from Wales. It's been noticeable, and Biggar leading the way on that occasion. They are just coming flying out of the box. And now there's a penalty for South Africa. Reinach once again. Little bit of room for Smith to work in. Takes the ball into contact. Reinach once more. Etzebeth. Elias went low and cut the big man down. Mistake from Diagger, but
You're going backwards, guys.
it'll be
Clear
a
release.
penalty to South Africa.
Clear release to the tackle player.
And what will South Africa do? Surely take the 3 on offer. They will.
Confirm that mark, please, Ollie.
Yeah, they have to. I think it was the right decision earlier on to go for that line out. At some point, you've got to try and be pushing for a try, but after that phase of play, you know, yes, there was an infringement from Wales, but they were certainly putting a lot of pressure on that South African attack. So at this point now, you've been down there for a couple of minutes. You've got to come away with something. Take the points.
Okay. Trends, how are we feeling?
Who'd be a coach?
Okay.
So Pollard back with the kicking duties. This should tie it up as the clock heads towards 60. Flags go up. It's 5 penalties apiece. It's 15 points apiece. There's an hour gone, and it's as evenly balanced as you could want it to be. Changes, and there is a man with a story. Will Griff-John, 28 years of age, makes his debut for Wales. Cardiff as an under-20 player and was let go, took himself off to New Zealand where he played for Northland, found himself back playing for Sale in the Gallagher Premiership, and now with the Scarlets, 28 years of age. Talk about commitment to the cause, and there's a man, Liam Williams. Well, hits his first game of the season, believe it or not. Cap number 72 for him, has all the class and ability in the world, and Wales need that right now.
Flag up.
They absolutely do, and his first bit of impact play there, just getting up high in the air. Oh, he's not quite going for the challenge, just getting a body up there. But it just caused enough confusion for them to be able to get the ball back.
Jonathan Davis, captain, is a man who's made way for Liam Williams.
Hold. Yeah.
Mustard is in for Diagger in the second row for the South Africans.
Down by red there. Down by red. Down by red.
Biggar. Big hit in the middle of the field of Armand Tompkins. Wales still have the ball. Ryan Elias ensures they still do. But they've retreated. Now the narrow side. Little dig back inside for Tompkins, who bounces off one and then shuffles the feet to finds a little bit of ground. Williams trying to float it over the top. Josh Adams gets a hold of it. It's a knock-on. Just a knock-on, says the referee. Biggar And then Basham. Wales are building up a little bit of momentum here. Crossfield kick from Biggar. Risamet gets, kicks and goes. Steyn comes across and tries to tap dance his way along the line. But Wales just cranking it up a little bit.
Cranking it up and mixing it up, and loving that kick pass then from Dan Biggar to wing Louis Risamet. And talk about sleight of hand. He literally just takes the ball and then drops it to the foot.
So then, Wales throw the line out. In the back line, it's now Josh Adams who's playing in the outside centre position. He's got Tompkins inside him. Will they see the ball? You feel... Well, let's see. Taken first by Rowlands. South Africa look to stem any attempt at getting the maul going. This is Williams who runs into a big tackle from Smith.
Easy now.
The world champions are being absolutely tested right now. But away from home, they're standing up to it right now. Rowlands. Williams, advantage being played. It's cheered like a score by the crowd, but there might be there are people on the pitch. It may not matter. Williams steps back inside, and that moment from that idiot has ruined what might have been a score for Wales.
Oh, I'm a little bit lost for words with that. But leading up to this, fantastic bit of interlinking play, but you can just see on the right-hand corner there is a spectator that somehow managed to get on the field, and I'm sure many questions will be asked about how he was able to get onto the pitch.
Yeah, and well, you can see Liam Williams had to readjust. He had to readjust for the pass as well. It wasn't a definite score by any stretch of the imagination, but it wasn't made easy.
We're going back.
And really incredible by Liam Williams to operate in that tiny little 1 foot square of space that he actually ended up having.
Shot.
I think there's contact with the head there.
Oh, hey, look, we'll pick it up if it's clear.
Yeah.
What do we...
What is it, apparently way too?
Yep, right here. Shot call. And I've just had the call. It wasn't clear.
Around this area.
I've just had the call. It wasn't clear.
Okay.
Alice Jenkins asking the referee to have a little look with his TMO at something, and it's not clear, says the referee.
Well, so he's looking for a bit of foul play there against Will Griff-John. There was a drop of a knee just outside of the ruck.
Biggar will get on with it, and he'll give Wales the lead once more. It's 6 threes for Dan Biggar's boots. 18 points to 15. 15 minutes left in a game that is seesawed from one side to the other. Wales, when they've been, well, when they've had that lead shortened, they've found a way to get back out front again. And they've done so once more. But South Africa, well, you know the pedigree, you know the ability.
Well, we saw it in the game against New Zealand, didn't we? In the last 60 seconds of the game, the lead switched between South Africa and New Zealand, South Africa, New Zealand. So make no mistake, South Africa will be in this into the dying second.
The Yankees is in, and out goes Pollard, and I think that kick is good. Crowd screaming that it was out on the full, but I think the substitute replacement has bounced that one right on the margins, but on the right side of the margins.
Yep, spot on.
Right work, Jimmy. Yeah. We're outside, aren't we, mate? Move out.
Ryan Elias. Wales must find their man, and do. Rowlands did really well to stretch across and claim possession for Wales. South Africa, they will dig deep. You can see Kalosi just belting out the instructions. Creel calls loudly for it, but spills it, and onto it comes Davis. Carey. Improvising across the three-quarter line. Wales secure possession, and Rowlands is helped back to the halfway line. Crowd are so involved in this one. Up it goes again.
Knock on Green.
Knocked forward by a green hand, says the referee, so advantage being played to Wales. And then there's a little kick over the top from Williams, and after it goes Rhys-Zammit, but Reinach was alive to the danger, and he turns defence into attack, and the advantage was for a knock forward, so that's gone as soon as the ball was kicked away. What an effort from Cobus Reinach. Absolutely brilliant from the scrum half. He looked like he was in all sorts of trouble as Rhys-Zammit came after him, but he turned, found the gaps, and brings South Africa from inside their 22 to inside the Welsh half. Terrific little cameo from the man who has his foot on the ball now. That wasn't particularly pretty.
Backwards, I'm happy with that. They all the time.
It's a bet. Oh, they're going to get in, you know, out of nowhere. The BB. South Africa capitalise as Wales switched off for just a moment. Makazuela, Mapimpi.
We'll just slow it down.
Well, they're going to have a look at it.
We're retiring on the kick.
They're going to have a look at it. But Wales switched off for just a moment. It all started back here with Reinach.
Yeah, it's an unbelievable way of cleaning up the ball, wasn't it? Absolutely backs himself, finds space, but it's really this kick up, and like you say, we thought, what is that going to? It's absolutely going for nothing, but talk about making something out of nothing.
Well, they're going to look where Etzebeth was and who connected with the ball after the kick.
Well, just queue out the footage.
So the question will be on the kick whether anyone was offside.
So basically anyone in front of the kicker. And he is.
Okay, so that kick goes. Are there any green players that are advancing?
But does he then get put onside by the person that kicked the ball?
Okay, well, let's go back again and have a look at, because everybody, including the officials, will want absolute clarity, because, well, it's a statement of the obvious. This is a seminal moment.
Yeah, so it needs to be stepping back.
Yeah, that's what we need to make sure. If he's within
Hold,
the 10.
hold. Just one more time, please,
I have
Ollie.
to say, Paul Williams and his assistants, Andrew Brace and James Dolman, are absolutely in control. The communication between them has been spot on.
Okay, actually, I've got two. Yeah, look, I've also got 16 green who advances forward. So, boys,
this is not going to stand.
For me, I've got no try. It's going to be a penalty because they were inside the 10 and they weren't retiring. Okay. See ya. I better explain this one. Yeah. It's a tricky one. So on field live, I thought it was okay. Yeah. On review, those guys actually have to retire backwards. They can't go for. They can't even just stay there. They must retire backwards. Okay. So it's going to be a penalty up here to Reds there. Yeah, it's clear.
Against us, says Khaleesi, in disbelief, and you can understand why. That one is chalked off. They're back on their feet in the stadium, and belief is restored.
Yeah, there's part of you that does feel for South Africa a little bit there. That could have been the catalyst, that could have been the spark. But unfortunately, when a kick goes up like that, you must make sure you are onside before you compete.
And now Wales are going to empty the bench. Gareth Davis, Gareth Anscombe, Wyn Jones. Dan Biggar. Biggar is so in control of his own game. The emotion of the moment, the pace, the conditions. We watched him and Jonathan Sexton earlier today for Ireland, and out halves when they are in control of their game at this level are an absolute joy to watch, and Biggar has been that this afternoon so far, as indeed as Pollard, but Anscombe is going to come in now. So then, Ryan Elias. Confirmation in the left-hand corner of the changes for Wales. That looks high, I have to say, from Marks. And then they get over the ball, and the decision is the ball taken in and therefore turned over.
South Africa are not only good with their attacking maul, but they're also very good at defending the maul. I must be honest, with the scrum dominance that South Africa are having, I would really love to see them play out of here. They're going to get clean ball. Pollard will have the ball exactly when he wants it. I'd really like to see them use their centres, keep ball in hand.
Crouch! 5, 6, hold!
Kovacrana feeds the South African scrum, and Wales lock it out for the first surge, but can't deal with the second one, and South Africa get the penalty. And Kolisi is as combative as ever.
It always has that feel that they could get that ball out at any point, but South Africa know if they just hold their steady, they are going to get that penalty, and with that penalty gets that kick to touch, gets that territory advantage.
4 scrum penalties given away by Wales at the scrum on each occasion, and then you get Franz Steyn just absolutely bang one down the line.
Look, you can just see there, they just wait. They leave the ball at the back because they know they're going to force that scrum penalty.
Kolisi makes way, so into the game comes Jasper Wiese. And also into the game is Bradley Roberts, has come in, the South African-born Ulster hooker for Wales, qualifies through parentage for Wales, 25 years of age, just wasn't on the radar for Wales a couple of months ago, and there he is with the slightly reddened hair, who hits the back of that ruck, and he makes his debut as well for Wales. Inside the final 10 minutes. 3 points. The world champions trail. The last 4 times that they've come to Cardiff, they've walked away with an L beside their name. And they look to right that wrong, but Wales have 3 points on them right now. The man who scored the try that wasn't, Bapimpi, gathers the ball. And now they have the advantage. Reinek to Etzebeth, who's put down by Seb Davis.
Hold that, Mike. Put his mic.
Yankees, Dielembe. Ball spilled, but they'll go back for the penalty. This is a big call. This is a big call. Do South Africa have a kick a goal, or on the angle, do they play it into the corner and look to launch something off a line out?
7.
You'd like to see them back themselves and go for that line out, but equally, with things being so tight, you'd forgive them for just taking that penalty points.
But it's a big question. Like, it's not a give me by any chance.
Time off.
If they choose to go for the kick. And before any decision is made, there is the new man that I was telling you about, Bradley Roberts, the Ulster hooker, who makes his debut for Wales.
Strapping. Let's go as quick as we can.
Evan Etzebeth, it's the man getting the attention. Wayne Pivac is the man in your picture with the concern on his face. Rassie Erasmus and his team, well, they'll have known they were going to get a challenge, no question about that, but I think it's been a bigger challenge than they were expecting.
100%, and I think one thing they will be disappointed on reflection of this game is their ability to handle that momentum, but to change the momentum, to get it back, to be able to take control of the game. At times when it's gone loose, it's suited Wales, and South Africa just haven't been able to get a grip on it and turn it into the game plan that suits them.
Well, I pose the question, what would South Africa do? Go for the post or go for the corner? And the decision has been made by The Yankees to go for the corner. Didn't get everything out of it he would have liked. Still 8 or 9 meters for Malcolm Marx in South Africa to try and navigate. It's Vermeulen who takes it, and it's Smith who has it, and now Marx at the back of them all. It's got moving, and Wales are scattered like skittles, and Marx goes! And over he goes! And the world champions are world champions because they can find a way when they need to. Marx and South Africa control them all with absolute perfection, and they get the 5 points.
That maul had so much momentum. No matter how many Wales bodies were in there, they certainly weren't hindering that. And you just feel like if South Africa were going to score a try, it was going to be an up-front, physical forward try, and that's exactly what it was here. You've got Adam Beard desperately trying to get through the middle there, but he's blocked off superbly well. They fraction it off, yet South Africa stay connected, stay low. And that is just so hard to defend.
Incredibly hard to defend, but also incredibly difficult to navigate and to deliver under pressure. And South Africa did it so well. It's the 10th international try, by the way, for Malcolm Marx. And an opportunity for Elton Yankees to add an additional 2. This one pulled across the post. So it is a 2-point game, and that is significant in that a penalty would give Wales the lead once more. So this one far from done inside the final 6 minutes. It's not been pretty, but it is very, very engaging.
It absolutely is. We've had thrills, we've had spills, we've had cards, we've had penalties. Very engaging game.
Krill. Liam Williams goes after it and just can't get his hands on it.
Ball's there.
Reinach will dig it out. Visa. Clock management now, you think, for South Africa as well. Territory management. They have the lead.
Yes.
They'll do everything they can to protect it. High one, really well dealt with by McNichol. Anscombe, Wyn Jones.
No tackle.
Smith rips and goes. Somehow, the open side gets possession back for South Africa when it looked like Wales had controlled the ball. Up in the air once more. Mapimpi can't deal with it, but has it.
Still here.
Reinach. Good carry from Visa. South Africa beginning to turn the screw physically. Yankees. South Africa power into that breakdown, clear it out, present the ball again. Visa once more. Basham just can't get his hands on it to turn it over for Wales. It's a bet. It's relentless from South Africa, and they now have the penalty as well. Wales not able to get away from it on that far side of the breakdown. The penalty is there, it's not forwards, and the penalty will come. And an opportunity, surely, to go from a 2-point lead to a 5-point lead. There'll be no going to the corner this time.
No, absolutely not. Gosh, the South African team now, what about an injection of energy, of confidence? This is kind of the play that we expected from the word go. But we've just taken 70 minutes for South Africa to find their groove. What a steal there. Absolutely incredible.
Let's go.
Well, 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 I am surprised. To the corner they go. Surely the kick was one that would do well. It would have given them a 5-point lead had it gone over, and at worst, it would have eaten up another minute on the clock and left them with the lead, but that's not the way that South Africa are thinking right now, as Etzebeth. receive some more attention, and Marks wipes off the ball once more.
All right.
Yeah, and I guess you could say at 76 minutes in, line-outs aren't exactly the quickest things. They're probably going to keep it in. They'll go for that drive. They've still got the ability to wind down the clock, but
just keep time off.
With this confidence now, I can see why they're going for it.
Just keep time off. I'll just clear the field first. Just hold that. Yeah, hold. Right. Time back on now.
We head towards the final 3 minutes. Malcolm Marks in South Africa, right where they want to be, ahead on the scoreboard, 7 meters outside the Wales line, and in control of the ball. From a similar position on the far side of the pitch, they executed the perfect maul, and Marks stood, and they're going to try and do it again. Marks goes after it, but Wales repel. Just.
Good, that's last feet.
Round the corner. Lisa, ball is out. Who's on it? South Africa are on it. Smith, I think. Kitsoff.
No, don't put him in. Yeah, it's okay.
Renick trying to get a penalty that was never coming. Ball cleared once more over the scrum half. Dialende ducks into the tackle. Turns and presents once more for Renick.
Yeah, he's well.
Koch is the latest to carry. Now it's Kitsoff. Inside the final 2 minutes. That's off a South African boot. It's free. And it's secured once more, but illegally by South Africa, and Wales will get another roll of the dice.
Green 4, showing off.
Epic defence there from Wales. Completely up against it. They knew the threat of that driving maul was coming. They knew the threat of the carriage, yet they stayed in the game. No infringement under that much pressure. That's real credit to the Welsh defence.
Just here is where the penalty came. Before that, it was a South African boot that actually kicked the ball away from Renick.
6 red. Okay, sure.
Going to be another change for Wales. Ben Carter comes in. She's 20 years of age. Babyface second row.
We've just got a possible white try out.
Well, this has been something of Wayne Pivac's intention, is to blood in new players, get the younger crop of talent in Wales, get them that international experience, and what a pressure throw now for Bradley Roberts. First throw in of the game, you're down by 3, you've got 2 minutes to go.
We've just got a possible white try out, we're just going to get 12 checked out.
There's a change being forced on Wales. As Nick Tompkins is called out for HIA, so Jonathan Davis is going to have to come back into this game, presuming he's not injured himself. I see him over on the far side reaching for the scrum cap.
How long?
Yep, there he is.
Thank you, mate. Time back on.
Taken by Basham. Is there one last roll from Wales that will get them in a position? All they need is a penalty in kickable range.
Yeah, your red legs.
Gareth Davis. South Africa swarm and warm to the defensive task again. 40 seconds, Wales simply can't afford to kick it away. They're going to have to find a way with ball in hand to get inside the half and find a penalty. Kicking it away, and it'll be game over. So if they're going to do it, they have to do it from inside their own 22. And they can't do it, because South Africa, again at the breakdown. And it's Kitsoff who gets the congratulations, and the arms are raised in the coach's box. Know it, that's it. For long periods of this game, it looked like South Africa may not be able to get across the gap that Wales kept creating, but they stuck at it, and class and relentless physicality on a dirty day eventually has given them the reward, and they will extend the lead from 2 surely to 5, and that will be good enough, and they know it. Steyn is the DHL man of the match, player of the match. A man who didn't know whether he was going to get a game this afternoon. Thought he might get 15 minutes, ended up getting about 65 as Damian Willemse was taken away with a HIA, and he's had a huge impact with both boot to get South Africa back into the game, and also with some breaks and some positioning that was top drawer defensively. Yankees sends it over, and South Africa have triumphed, and triumphed as world champions tend to do. Backs to the wall, away from home. Difficult, but job done. Wales 18, South Africa 23. And Philippa, I mean, that is why they are where they are in the game.
Absolutely, it's not only being clinical and scoring lots of tries, which we've seen them do with earlier games, but it's being able to stick in those arm wrestles. It's being able to stay calm, be patient. Now, don't get me wrong, I think South Africa will have their frustrations when they review that game. There were certainly elements in the first half where they could have brought a different style of game, but they didn't panic. They came out in the second half, they used their scrum, their line out, played far more territory, and they reaped the rewards, stayed in the game.
And from Wayne Pivac's performance, or sorry, from Wayne Pivac's perspective, you know, last week, 54-16, they lose to New Zealand. Listening to the referee continuing to have conversations with some of the players. But when you look at it from Pivac's perspective, you know, they lost so heavily last week. There was all sorts of disruption. They're down a number of, and no country can take the real frontliners to lose so many of them. From his perspective, yes, he'll be disappointed, but he'll be happy with what he saw in terms of the attitude.
He certainly will be. There are plenty of positives to be coming out of that game, and great platform for them to build up. And what it has shown him is he's got strength in depth, because once again, likes of Taine Basham, Ennis Jenkins putting up their hands and saying they are ready for international rugby.
Andre Pollard in South Africa, well, their journey across Europe in this November Autumn Nations Tour will see them off to Scotland next Saturday. They make their way to Murrayfield, and then it's England in Twickenham. So the challenges keep on coming, but right now they'll be really happy with what they've seen.
First win. Springboks' first win in Cardiff since 2013. It's been a while. What does that mean to you guys?
I'm just happy we won. I've never lost here, so it's pretty awesome. I love this place. This is definitely one of the best anthems in the world. The people sing it incredibly well here, so I don't know where we go after this, but we keep on fighting, and grind out wins like this is awesome.
Yeah, you did keep on fighting because you had to work pretty hard for it, especially in that first half.
The weather was pretty terrible. We had sun during the week, and now it's raining and all of that. But
welcome to Wales.
Yeah, but it's awesome. Like I said, this is an awesome stadium, and it's always special to play here.
Wales restricted your drive for so long, but you guys were patient, and then a South African special winning the day for you at the end there. What was the most pleasing aspect, especially of that second 40 for you?
I think just grinding it out through the pressure that we had in the first half. This is a quality side, and I think they're going to do really well in the Six Nations to come. Their season only starts now, so yeah, all the best to them, and hopefully they can get the Six Nations Cup again.
And started the night on the bench, and you finish up with a Player of the Match award. That's not a bad return, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty old for this now. I'm losing all my hair, but yeah, it's awesome. I can't explain the words. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, very engaging interview with Sarah Elgin with Steyn. I think he probably has the face of a man who thinks we've probably dodged a bit of a bullet here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, he referred to it then, didn't he? Grinding out, staying in the game, because, yeah, you have to say at times it really looked like this was Wales' game for the taking. But just lovely to hear him speak so humbly about his experience and wishing Wales good luck. True sportsman, fantastic.
South Africa have their critics when you hear people talking about the game not being expansive enough, and you have to take into consideration the conditions tonight. It is just absolutely awful to try and play anything outside the 9 and 10. Having said that, whatever other countries do, South Africa have got to play to their strengths, and when you see what they have and the resources that are available to them, it would be in many ways insane for them to play any other way.
Yeah, it would be. I must be honest, particularly in that first half, I would have liked to have seen them put the ball through hands just once or twice more.
South African captain is ready to talk to Sarah. Here's equalizes.
Guys, can we go? We can't keep seeing Guys, we need to do this now, or Sia's going to go. Can we do Sia, please? Okay, let's go. No, well, you outside of that, or Sia goes. So you want... No, okay. Yeah. Sia, huge congratulations. We know you've led this team to a lot of firsts, and this is a first time in 8 years for you guys to win here. So what does it mean to you?
Thank you so much, Sarah. What a special day in a packed stadium like this. I'm so grateful. Thank you to everybody that came out. But yeah, in 6 years we've came here and we were able to get the win. And Wales is a very strong team. So all our concentration were on just the specific game. You know, we knew it, we had to start well. So this is really special for us to start the tour. And now we focus on the next game.
Brian Habana said that you were your own worst enemies in that first half at times. Did it feel like that? Brian Habana said that at times in that first half you were your own worst enemies. Did it feel like that at the break?
So I can't hear.
Yeah, talk to us about the first half, going in 3 points behind. What was the chat at the break?
The first half was very tough. It was like we made a lot of mistakes, obviously. You know, we got penalized for the breakdown, but you know, I thought the calls were consistent. But I thought the way we came back in the second half was really good. We stuck to our guns and we kept the discipline.
So losing 3 games in a row in Australia, probably less than ideal. So to back that up, beating the All Blacks, coming here with the first win in 8 years, what does it tell us about you guys that we don't already know?
I think it's the South African spirit. You know, whenever times get tough, we're always able to get up. You know, I think we're from a country that faces a lot of challenges all the time, and we always learn to get up. You know, we were hard-working people, and you know, I think that's just the South African spirit, and we know that people are behind us back at home, and you know, with everything that's going on, we know we're able to put a smile on people's faces, and that's what kept us going here today.
Always great to see you, Sia.
Always
well
great
done.
to see you. Thank you. Thank you.
John, so close today, so close. Just sum up the frustrations from that for me.
Look, it was a proper test match today. You know, an arm wrestle for the 80 minutes. The boys dug deep and showed a lot of physicality, and you know, we probably look back at that, and our discipline probably cost us with the result today. You know, can't fault the effort, but yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah, I can tell you're disappointed. Wayne Pivek said this week that you guys, you knew what was coming. I guess every team does when they play against South Africa, but you matched it for the most part. You know, does that make it even more frustrating?
Look, you know, you go out there and you try and physically match teams. South Africa, one of the best in the world. But you know, we got to look at ourselves and make sure that we, you know, take the positives, what we got from the game today, and then move forward for next week.
I mean, it is always an arm wrestle against these guys, isn't it? You mentioned discipline. That and what else? Was just a few little errors maybe in that second half that cost you?
Yeah, I think our frustration crept in a bit. Obviously, conditions didn't help to the way we wanted to play. But yeah, no, I think it's a tough one. Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you go, John.
Thank you.
I like you today.
Yeah, not surprisingly, Jonathan Davis very disappointed with the end result for Wales at the Principality Stadium. You look at Khaleesi and you have to say, ferocious competitor for minute 1 to minute 80, and yet so gentle and humble thereafter.
Yeah, and that's a true sports person, aren't they? You will fight to the death on the field, but as soon as that whistle is gone, you shake hands and you wish the fellow team good luck in their next Six Nations.
So we know South Africa are off to Scotland and then to England. For Wales, well, it's next Sunday against Fiji for Wayne Pivac's side, having already played New Zealand and now South Africa. It's Fiji next week and then Australia the week after. I mean, the tests, Fiji will be a completely different test, but a test nonetheless for Wales next week.
Yeah, and an important test, because these variety of game plans, that's what these players need the experience in. And a team like Fiji, you cannot switch off for a second. They're going to bring a really expansive, off-the-cuff style of game, which will really challenge Wales, because that's the one thing Wales are trying to develop, is that off-the-cuff play. But will it match up against Fiji? That's what we're going to find out.
Well, from Wayne Pivac's perspective as well, having lost to New Zealand, having lost to South Africa, and then knowing you face Australia in the final week, you just have to get away some way next week of finding a W beside your name, because heading into the fourth weekend with 3 losses is just something that the Welsh public will, as much as they'll have been happy with what they've seen today, they won't stand for Wales staring down the battle of the down the barrel of 4 losses. It's just not something that's part of the consciousness here.
No, it's not, and it's because of the fantastic individuals that we see on that field. Yes, we've alluded to the fact we're missing some big hitters, but you've still got some very exciting players there who are building. That was a sharp improvement from last week, and that's all we can ask, because they keep improving.
South Africa lift the Prince William Trophy on offer this afternoon between these sides, and they will continue on their way. It was a hard-fought victory. They had to dig deep, but that's what champions do. The final score at the Principality Stadium: Wales 18, South Africa 23.